Welcome to another semester at Bakersfield College, and more specifically, your philosophy B10 class, Intro to Ethics. My name is Brian Russell. I'll be your professor for this semester, coming to you pre-recorded from my fabulous studio, my office here at the college. Today, I'm going to show you where to find the course. We're going to do a syllabus review and a course introduction, and I'm going to direct you to your first assignment. So, without further ado, let's minimize me and get a syllabus up here, and we'll start going through it. All right. So my office location, if you ever venture to the college, is in the Fine Arts Building, room 70. The Fine Arts Building has a couple wings. If you're hearing music instead of seeing art, then you're coming closer to my office. My office hours will be on your syllabus. They are not on this example syllabus that I'm going through, so your syllabus you will find. Let's show you how to find this video in the course and the syllabus. So what you'll do is you'll go to Inside BC, go to the Bakersfield College website, Inside BC. It'll have you type in your email and password. You'll go to a link that'll say My Courses. You'll click on our course, Introduction to Ethics. And that will take you to a page that looks like this. So this is the modules page of our course Canvas site, and this is where you'll find everything for the course, except the syllabus. The syllabus you'll find if you go down here to the sidebar and click on the syllabus link. You'll find the syllabus for your course, and it will have all of the dates and times for your course in it. You'll also find all of the lectures, quizzes, assignments, discussion board. You'll turn in all your assignments. Everything will come through the module site. All the lectures will be on here too. All right. So my office hours will be listed on the syllabus, and they're also by appointment. So if you want to drop into my office hours, I'm always here during my office hours unless I email you otherwise. And if you can't make those hours, then I'm happy to make appointments outside of those hours. I do commute to campus from a ways away, but hopefully we can find a time that works with your schedule and my schedule, and we can set up a phone call or however you want to do it. Just shoot me an email. So I have my email address here, brian.russell@bakersfieldcollege.edu. That's the best way to contact me. I try to get back to emails within 2 days, but I give preference to my online students since it's really the only way to reach me. So if you send me an email, especially if it's about setting up a meeting, I'll try to get back to you really quickly. Now we should go over the course description. So the course description says, examination of the philosophical approach to morality, study of the meaning of ethics and morality, and methods used in ethical theorizing and reasoning, emphasizes major ethical issues and theories, instructs how to set up an ethical system. Basically what we'll be doing in a nutshell, we'll be trying to figure out when actions are right and wrong, when people are good or bad, and why we should think that. So the philosophical approach to morality referenced in this course description is important here. We all come to this class with ideas about morality, feelings about right and wrong and good and bad people, right and wrong ways to live a life. But if you're like me before I came to philosophy, some of those ideas about ethics don't fit together well. So the way the philosophical approach to morality usually goes is we take some big ideas in ethics, some really intuitive, some ideas that really seem right, and we take those ideas and we try to make systems out of those. So we consistently apply those big ideas across all situations and see if it'll work. So what we're going to be doing is first we're going to be looking at some major ethical theories. And then after that, we're going to look at some specific ethical problems. So abortion, the moral status of non-human animals, among other problems, and we'll apply those big theories to those problems and also look at the special complexities of those problems that our theories might not address. And that'll pretty much be the course. What you'll be able to do when you finish this course, you'll be able to understand major ethical theories. You'll be able to apply those theories to specific moral problems. You'll be able to talk about the strengths and weaknesses of each theory compared to each other. And you'll be able to figure out what sort of life is worth living for human beings. So no small task in this course. We'll see if we can pull it off in 16 weeks. One textbook is required for this course, and that textbook is The Elements of Moral Philosophy by James and Stuart Rachel's. Any edition, I say the closer to the 8th, the better. So we're now on the 9th edition. You can find it online, I think back to the 4th. I'll be referring to the 8th edition when I'm referring to page numbers and chapters. The chapters are mostly the same. If you go back to the 4th edition, the chapters are a little bit different, but I note that on the Canvas site, should you decide to buy an older edition, you might want to, because they're cheap. Let's see what this book is running online right now. So you can find the 4th edition for $4. Not too bad. You can find the 9th edition for $20. You can find the edition that I'll be using for $15. You can get any of those. Since it's the only book for the course, I hope that doesn't strain your pocketbook too much. There should be copies of the book available at the Bakersfield College bookstore. I would imagine around $80. Up to you where you want to purchase it. You'll need to have the book by the second week of class. So by the second week of class, we'll be starting in on chapter 1. Nope, you won't need it by the second week of class. I actually put a PDF of chapter 1 on our site, but you will need it by the 3rd week when we start talking about utilitarianism. So make sure you purchase that somehow, or you're able to access it somehow by week 3. We'll have additional readings. The book that I selected is really good introduction, but sometimes it's not great at covering specific topics. When it's not great, I supplement the reading with chapters from other textbooks, and sometimes I'll post articles, PDFs of articles on the site. I'll provide any reading that's not in that textbook. So if you get that textbook, that's all the reading you'll be responsible for buying. All right, so what makes up your grade? What will you have to do? There are 3 tests, there's 1 essay. Those are all worth 100 points, so 400 points total, but I drop your lowest of those 4 scores. So if you miss a test, no worries, that test grade is dropped. You'll still have 2 tests and your essay to count towards your grade. If you're unhappy with one of your test grades or you're unhappy with your essay score, no need to fret. Hopefully the other assignments get you to your grade goals. If you don't like writing essays, you need not write an essay. You can just do the 3 exams, and you will not be punished. It's just your 3 exam scores would all count exactly as they are. If you figure out how you want to do this, if you want to do the first 2 exams and the essay and tune out, totally fine. You can get enough points to pass the class. Hopefully that makes sense. So of those 4 100-point assignments, I drop one. If you don't do one, that's the one that I'll drop. If you do them all, I'll drop the lowest. You'll have to write a short essay, a couple pages. Once we finish utilitarianism and deontology, you'll do just a couple-page essay analyzing a situation through the lens of one of those moral theories. Talk about that more when we get to that assignment. There will be quizzes, both reading quizzes and lecture quizzes that you'll have to do almost every week. And participation will be tracked by participation in an online discussion board. I'll frequently post weekly discussion board questions. You'll have to answer them. And I think more than 100 words is what I require. So give them a thoughtful answer. Reference the reading that we just did in your answers to make me especially happy. And you'll have to respond to somebody else. So 5 of the points will be for answering my question. 5 of the points will be responding to somebody else. And a note on responses. When you respond to somebody else, come with a hard-hitting objection. We're all in the business of trying to find the truth here, trying to figure out what ideas about morality we should keep, which ones we should reject. The way we get at the truth in philosophy is often adversarial. So somebody comes up with an idea, somebody else attacks it. The first person tries to improve their idea based on the attacks. Don't be too, what do they say? Hold on tightly, let go lightly, right? So try to come up with the best ideas you can, but if somebody attacks them, don't feel too bad about it. Just try to improve your idea. Reject your old ones or modify them to accommodate the objection. This is all to say, don't be afraid to come up with really good objections to your colleagues. I'll be expecting it. You'll be graded on it. Be polite about it, but don't just cheerlead people's posts. When you are required to respond to their posts, show me a problem with show them a problem with their idea. It will be for their benefit and for your benefit and for my benefit. So I don't have to read another, I think this was a great post. They use really great long words and it's really nice. They're a nice person too. I don't like it. It doesn't do any good. So don't do that sort of stuff. Come up with good objections. On your syllabus online, there will be the census date, the drop without a W, the drop with a W date. Here's how your grade will be calculated. Let's talk a little bit more about quizzes and the way they'll work with video lectures and the content of the course. So when you open a module, for example, chapter 1 here. So let's skip past some of this intro stuff and see how the course will usually roll out. I'll assign you to read chapter 1 in week 2. You'll read chapter 1 once, maybe twice. You'll take the chapter 1 reading quiz. The way the reading quizzes will work is there'll be a couple 2 or 3 questions. They'll each be worth 1 point. There'll be multiple choice. They'll be on the big ideas in the chapter. So once you've done the reading, then open the reading quiz. Do the reading quiz. You'll have 5 minutes to complete the reading quiz. If you've done the reading with a little care, it should be no problem. The questions will be on big ideas in the chapter. Once you complete the reading quiz, then you'll open the lecture. You'll see me talking about the content of the chapter. In those lectures, which will look very much like the lecture you're watching right now, so it'll be me up in the corner talking about content on the screen. In the lectures, towards the end of the lecture or throughout the lecture, I'll have quiz questions for your post-lecture quiz. You'll need to write those questions down and write down what your answer is. Because when you open the post-lecture quiz, it will not contain the questions and it will not contain the answers. You will just have to select the letter of the answer you thought was correct for the question I gave you the question and answer that I gave you in the lecture. It'll make plenty of sense when we get to it. Just at the end of my lecture, I'll put up the quiz questions on the screen, and you'll have to write down in your notes what you think the answers are. And then when you open the post-lecture quiz, you'll just select those. You'll have 5 minutes to complete that. That'll be no problem because you'll already know what your answers were. I don't reopen quizzes. So you'll have to get these quizzes done. Don't open them before you have your answers down. If you open them before, you'll be totally lost. You'll have to just guess A, B, C, or D without knowing what anything's about, right? So wait till you've watched the lecture, wait till you've taken notes to open the post-lecture quiz. Very often I'll have the discussion question. It'll be listed on there when you when you click on it. It'll give you instructions for how to do the discussion for the day. Spend some time on those. I don't just automatically give full points for posting something. It's got to engage the material somehow. You've got to engage the arguments of your colleagues. All right, that covers reading quizzes, videos, post-lecture quizzes. Exams there'll be 3 exams throughout the semester. They are not comprehensive. They are a combination of multiple choice questions and essay questions. A week before the exam, you will have a study guide which will cover the topics from which I will create the multiple choice questions on the exams, and it will have the potential essay questions. Since this is an online course, you're lucky in that you don't have to write the essays in class. You can write them on a Word document, and then when you open the test, you can copy and paste your work over to the test. However, make sure that it's your work. I'm going to stress that again later. Once you open the exam, you'll have an hour and a half to do it, so make sure you don't open it before you're ready. I don't reopen anything. So once you've done it, that grade's going in the books unless it's the lowest one that I drop, right? The essay for this course will be 4 pages. I'll have an entire lecture about my expectations for it. I mean, in terms of work, this essay I expect to be really dense. I expect a very particular format and style, and I expect it to be chock full of argumentation. So expect treat it like an 8-page essay from another class. This 4-page essay, I'll be expecting it to be, again, packed with content, no fluff. You'll see an entire lecture on that later on. You have to do that short essay I already talked about. Participation I already talked about. If you need extra resources, here's a DSPS statement with some numbers and links for you. Now, this is the time where I stress academic integrity. So this is an ethics course. So we're trying to learn what's right and wrong, what people should and shouldn't be doing. Something you shouldn't be doing is cheating on your ethics assignments. You'll definitely get a 0 for that assignment. You'll probably fail the course. You might get kicked out of school, and you're definitely going straight to hell if you cheat on an assignment in this course. Hate to see it, but you go right down to the lowest level of hell. There's no escaping for the rest of eternity. Everything, all of your assignments, there are 16 weeks for the course. For each week, you'll have the week's worth of assignments, and they will all close at Sunday at 11:59 for that week. I don't reopen anything. You have plenty of time to get your assignments done. I advise you get them done by at least Saturday, so if there's any trouble, we can sort it out by Sunday. Here, there's some guidelines for emailing. That's handy for all your professors, not just me. We have a writing center on campus that can be really helpful. I think I talk about it more when I give you a full lecture about the essay assignment. Some other resources here for you. Then there's the course calendar. I suggest you print the course calendar out and keep it on the front of your notebook for this course. It will have all the dates, all the assignments. I bold when big assignments occur, when all the tests happen. It'll have dates for the final when everything's due. So this will be a handy resource for you. Let's look at what we're doing week 1 right now. So you should complete the welcome, online orientation, and trolley problems and intro to arguments modules. These assignments will be due at the end of the first week of class at 11:59 p.m. Any student who has not completed these assignments will be dropped for non-attendance. So I have no way of taking attendance for this course other than seeing if you're doing the assignments. So the first week's assignments are very important. You have to do them or you will be dropped from the class. That's all there is to it. So whether you do them well or not, make sure you do them if you plan on getting any credit for this course. Let's take a look more narrowly at what you'll have to do. So right now, you're just about done. I'm almost done doing this syllabus review and course mechanics. Congratulations. Then you can do this online orientation. This is completely optional. If you're familiar with online classes, if you're familiar with Canvas, you need not do this. There is some helpful stuff on here about how to address your colleagues, about how to send stuff to me, getting comfortable with technology. There's all kinds of cool stuff in here. I took this completely over. I forget who I stole it from, but I stole it from somebody. They allowed me to steal it. But it's a good resource. Should you choose to use it, you need not. But what you will need to do is this stuff. Week 1, trolley problems and intro to arguments. So since we haven't had any text, I'm not holding you accountable for any text. There will be a trolley problem lecture. I give you some thought experiments about ethics to get your intuitions about ethics out on the table and to get you to start thinking a little bit philosophically, figure out if your thoughts are consistent on these matters, whether they should be or not, all these sorts of things. So I'll propose some thought experiments. We'll play God with stick figures. You will then take the trolley problem post-lecture quiz after you get the quiz questions from the trolley problem lecture. Then there'll be another lecture on parts of arguments. You'll do the post-lecture quiz on that. And then we'll have a little chat, a little discussion about the thought experiments in the trolley problem. So if you want your ideas responded to, get your discussion points up on the discussion board as soon as possible. Then more people will have a chance to respond to them. And you can respond back. We can have a long-running conversation. Be polite, respectful, but intellectually honest with your colleagues, right? All right, so that's where you can find the course. We did a syllabus review and a course introduction, and you are well on your way to doing your first assignments. I'm excited to have you in class. I'm excited to see what you have to say about this material. This is my favorite course to teach. I love teaching ethics. People are very passionate about it. It should not be boring. If it's boring, either I'm doing it wrong or you're doing it wrong. Our subject matter is what's right and wrong, how we should be living our lives. This applies to everybody. So welcome to class again. I look forward to a great semester and hearing your great ideas on this subject matter. I'll see you in our next lecture where I get to show off my art skills, which are formidable. All right, see you next time.